Hey, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to Living with Fibro and PSA, Felicia and Frankie's Way. I'm your girl, Gigi, your unofficial tour guide through the wild, unpredictable, often ridiculous world of chronic illness. If you are new here, first of all, welcome to the channel and welcome to the chaos. We are so very glad you have found your way to this little corner where we keep it real about living life with not just one, but two illnesses. My little stowaways, Felicia, that's my fibromyalgia, and Frankie, my psoriatic arthritis. So buckle up, Buttercup, because today we got a lot of stories, we got some lessons, and we definitely got some tea to be spilling. Let's dive in. Heads up, y'all. This channel is about learning. I am just a regular girl riding this chaotic, chronic illness roller coaster with Felicia, Fibro, and Frankie's psoriatic arthritis, sharing life one flare up at a time. I'm here to keep it real, connect with fellow warriors, and sprinkle in some hope, humor, and heart. I am not a doctor. I am just a real girl talking from lived experiences. The great 4th of July Smackdown, gravity, germs, and grit. Hey y'all, I hope you guys had an amazing 4th of July. I hope it was full of fireworks and family and fun and just the right amount of chaos. The good kind, of course. I've missed you guys. And I just wanted to know, before we dived headfirst into this hot mess express, that I was sorry for the delay. For this episode, it was supposed to drop weeks ago. But ironically, y'all, this was supposed to be part 2. Yeah, this message, the one we're working on right now, the one you're listening to, was supposed to come after the next story that will be coming up. But you know what? Sometimes life, it kind of flips the scripts on us. And maybe God had a hand in this one. Maybe it was more important for me to tell you guys my story first. So it's kind of funny sometimes how life works. But here lately, life has been handing me some serious lemons and limes and the whole produce section, really. And let's just say I'm still trying to find the energy to make the dang lemonade. So now you're going to get a two-parter because trust me, there's way too much ridiculousness to cram into one breath. So we're going to rewind to the madness and where it started, and that would be June 3rd. And that's when I came down with this nasty upper respiratory fungus among us cough from hell, congestion, the whole grab bag of utter grossness. And so what I did, what us normal responsible spoonies would do, I called my rheumatologist. Because when you live with chronic illness, looking at you, Felicia and Frankie, every medicine, yeah, even the innocent ones, can be a landmine. And if you remember, I've already had a medication mishap not too long ago. So I wasn't about to play that game again. My doc gave me the safe meds list, so I stuck with my good old friend, my old faithful Robitussin DM. We have been in a long-term relationship at this point, so hey, why mess up a good thing? Side note though, my husband's beloved NyQuil, yeah, it was not on the list. So let me give you all this friendly public service announcement to always check with your doctors before popping anything. When your body's a walking pharmacy, one wrong move equals fireworks of the worst kind. I had the sweetest little visit the other day from my grandson. And don't you know, one of them wasn't too thrilled when I told him no. Next thing I know, I was not paying attention and I received a tiny toddler shove, which should have been no big deal if I was paying attention. We all know how I am. Down I go, like a house of cards. I almost smacked my head again. Good grief. Soon, I'm not even going to have a brain left up there. I jacked up my arm. I bruised my foot up. I don't even know. I have a bruise on top of my foot. Anyway, yeah. And just like that, I'm reminded that gravity is not my friend. Gravity wins again. I am still dealing with the leftovers from that lovely concussion earlier on this year. So honestly, at this point, I am seriously considering unwrapping myself up like a little bubble wrap. And I'm just going to live in a little bubble house full time. 3 weeks into hacking at my lungs, I was finally starting to feel better. I was over here like, thank you, Jesus, I survived. But plot twist, my Mountain Dew addiction lured me out for a quick grocery run. Run in, got popped, and run right back out. Don't judge. I was thirsty, okay? And apparently, my immune system was still on vacation because 2 hours later, I was deathly sick. Nausea, throwing up, chills, you name it. So there goes another week down the drain. Laid up in bed, barely functioning. Fast forward to the day before the 4th. I've been down for days. We had family and friends coming in, and I was determined not to cancel. So I did the dreaded thing. I went to urgent care because I couldn't get in with my regular doctor. So off I go. Geez, you want to talk about frustrated. Chronically ill, not stupid, Felicia, Frankie, and the urgent care smackdown. Y'all know the drill. We judge a place the second we walk in. The vibe, sour. The receptionist, meh. Not rude, not friendly, just vibes of, let's get this over with. She handed me the usual insurance paperwork plus an anxiety and depression survey. Now listen, I'm all about mental health because I live it, but I wasn't there for that. I was there for antibiotics, not an uninvited psych evaluation. But, I filled it out, honestly, because that's what we do. But then when I saw my diagnoses later, UTI and anxiety. What? Excuse me, I didn't come in here for my feelings. I came in because my lungs were staging a full-on mutiny. Apparently telling the truth about chronic illness comes with a free side of mental health labels without one word of actual discussion. Not a single, hey, how are you holding up? Emotionally, how are you doing? Nothing. Just a slap on anxiety and let's just keep on moving. Then enter the nurse with attitude. She strolls in, puffed up, tells me she's the only nurse on duty and will move as slow as she pleases. Ma'am, calm down. I explained to her that I had been sick over a month. I was just wanting some antibiotics because I'm trying to get feeling better so that I can take my Orencia. But instead of compassion, she grilled me like I was there for a drug hookup. Girl, please. I need a Z-Pack, not judgment, and definitely not no side eye. Then she finds out that I have psoriatic arthritis. And oh man, oh boy, does she ever just go off about how she has RA, she can work 12-hour shifts just fine on Tylenol. Y'all, I smiled. I did. My mask was slowly cracking because inside my brain was absolutely throwing sparks. I calmly said, well, that's nice. I've had this for 20 years. So I figure we can chat when your body's been chewing itself alive for 2 decades. And also, Tylenol every 8 hours? Yeah, say hi to liver damage. But I'm sure as a nurse, you already knew that, right? She must not have been ready to argue with me because, look, she just dropped it. I'm not here for a confrontation either. But I'm not going to let people and scrubs belittle me or make me feel like I'm lazy or I'm faking it. I wasn't there for narcotics. I wasn't there to be patronized. I just needed a freaking antibiotic. My gosh. But the doctor, she came in totally night and day. She was kind, compassionate, and actually listened. And yes, I gently let her know that her nurse's attitude can totally use some work. And the kicker was that the anxiety disorder diagnosis that was never discussed, I came for antibiotics. I left with a side of unsolicited mental health labeling, which will go back to my family doctor. So that will be interesting. And apparently, filling out a survey is it's all it takes these days to get that. But silver lining was I got my antibiotics day 3, and I'm finally feeling a little more like a human these days. And I'm going to leave you with this little quote that I found. One small victory at a time, gritty, faith-filled, and a reminder that every little win matters, even when no one else sees it. The importance of staying educated and kind in healthcare. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this, especially after my little venture to urgent care the other day, and I just can't shake the feeling that we, as a society, and especially in healthcare, are dropping the ball when it comes to truly understanding chronic illnesses and mental health. Back when I was still working before Felicia and Frankie come barging into my life, I made sure to stay educated if there was a new illness or a new medication or something out of the ordinary that I was not aware of, because I worked in a lab, so I needed to know my stuff. You know, you have to know what blood, orders, and what tubes is going to work, and, what results I'm looking for, and what signs to miss or not miss, or, whatever. But it breaks my heart that in 2025, illnesses like fibromyalgia, hello Felicia, and psoriatic arthritis, good old Frankie, are still treated like mysterious, misunderstood puzzles. Still being brushed off, still judged. People hear arthritis and they picture grandma with her heating pad and papa with his cane all bent over. We think of it as an old person's problem. But arthritis doesn't care how old you are. I mean, I know teenagers that have it. And, I'll be 50 this year, which is crazy. I am now a middle-aged person. That's kind of weird to say. But I've been fighting this since I was 30. And fibromyalgia gets an even worse rap. Poor Felicia. I don't get it either, I don't understand all of it either. But I once worked with a doctor who straight up called fibro a junk diagnosis. He said that it was basically a catch-all for anything that they couldn't explain medically. They couldn't explain. They've ran all these tests out and they couldn't come up with a conclusive decision. So it got lumped in with fibro, in the fibro bucket. And I even thought like fibro fog, I'm like, oh, it's no big deal. Oh, you're forgetting. You'll be fine. It's, no, let me tell you, it's not just a little forgetfulness. It's like losing days. It's having your own family look at you like you're freaking crazy and losing your mind because you can't remember your conversations that you've had. It's like feeling gaslit by your own brain. Felicia pulling all strings while you sit there wondering what planet you're on. And now the doctor, credit, he has come around, he has done his homework, and he has educated himself more about this topic. That's the point. In healthcare and in life, we have to stay curious. We have to stay open. Just because something doesn't fit the textbook doesn't mean it isn't real or that it doesn't exist. Because you all know when you work in healthcare, you don't ever know what you're going to see, what's going to walk in those doors. I mean, I've seen all kinds of things that I can't unsee, things that have humbled me. Some of them have been heartfelt and have touched me deeply. And for someone in this field to be as cruel or judgmental to another human being who is suffering, it's not just unprofessional, it's just downright ugly. Especially when you yourself are living with an illness. How do you look at someone else and decide that they're less worthy of kindness? Not everybody is a drug seeker. Not everybody is scamming the system. Most of us are just trying to live. I'm not here for fame or fortune. I just want to be me. Be happy, be present, make memories with my family and friends. That shouldn't be too much to ask for. So the moral of the story is what? Be kind, stay curious, don't assume, don't judge. Because one day it might be you on the other side of that exam table, and you're going to be praying for somebody to see you, not as a patient, but as a person. The 4th of July recap, the sick girl edition. Yeah, I was sick the whole 4th of July. But by the time everybody came in, I had already had 3 antibiotics in me. So, I only felt half dead. And, hey, I enjoyed the food and the company, of course, my grandbabies, my kids. I made it work. I made it through the day. And when the fireworks started, let's just say that I was slouchy and horizontal in the good outdoor recliner. I was wrapped up in a blanket like a sleepy little burrito. And by the time we came inside, I had barely made it to the couch before I started to doze off. So when everybody left, I kind of was like, oops, sorry. But what can I say? I'm still a sick girl. I was recuperating. But honestly, I think I did pretty dang well considering. And by 10:30, this little lady here was out. According to my dear old husband, I snored all night long. Poor him. But hey, I slept. That's a win in my book, right? But I did spend the next 2 days in bed. And today was the first day I'm back up and moving. Before I sign off, I just want to say I am still here. Bruised, queasy, worn flat out, but I'm still here. I made a promise to my babies and now to my grandbabies that I would never give up, no matter how hard life gets. No matter how many times life knocks me down on my booty. And y'all, I meant that with every fiber of this broken but still kicking heart. Give me a like if you felt this. Hit the subscribe button to stick with me throughout the madness. Smash that notification bell so you never miss a single story, because around here, it's always Felicia and Frankie stirring the pot and keeping me on my toes. And hey, see those floating boxes over here? Click one of them if you've missed any videos. There are plenty more real talks where this came from. Until next time, stay strong, stay sassy, and I'll see you later.